Hello everyone, Chocolo here for another video review. This time we have the Milka Caramel Luflée, which I believe translates as bubbly. Yeah, so I used to have this one a long time ago. I remember it was one of the first chocolate bars, I think. It was non-UK chocolate bar that I reviewed on my channel, or aimed to review. And I remember it was my friend Agent Seska, or Cardassian Runaway, depending on whether it's Instagram or Twitter, who put me onto this one. So I really appreciate that, and she's been a friend ever since, actually. Yeah, so yeah, very excited for this one. Now they do release the Milka bubbly range in the UK. I just happen to have one of them here, and I think I don't know whether this comes in a Luflée version as well. You know, perhaps in Germany or wherever. I'm not too sure, but it is. But it does have an English description first. It says Alpine milk chocolate with caramel filling, 19%. On-air rated Alpine milk chocolate, 40%. There we go. Yeah. So very exciting, this one. Very excited for this one. I think you'd say it looks very nice. Yeah, certainly does. So yeah, so speaking of reviews I've done in the past, yeah, I've done about 650 reviews now. So in this corner here, hope it's that one. There'll be a playlist to all my other reviews. So please, after you've liked and subscribed to this to my channel and like this video, which I'm sure you will, of course, please check those out as well. And if you're in a position to do so, I do have a Patreon. Link again will be in here or in the description or both, and I have a YouTube membership program as well. So please have a look at those, peruse them at your leisure, and if you can subscribe to those or whatever, that'd be hugely appreciated as well. It's always great to hear from you, so leave a comment, whatever happens, good or bad, but hopefully good, and I'm sure I'll always reply. Okay, on to the review. Yeah, so it looks very nice, doesn't it? I mean, I really like the look of it, actually. It looks very very lovely. And I got this from B&M, actually. I couldn't get it when I originally got it. I had to import it from Germany, I think it was, or I got it off eBay anyway a few years back now. Could be about 5 years ago now, you know. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so they've actually finally, you know, you can be quite lucky, really. Sometimes you might have to get some of these from import shops, but sometimes they might just appear in B&M somewhere for about half price, probably, because it can be quite expensive to import them, really. What postage and usually just charging a bit more for the bar anyway. But yeah, it looks very nice. Looks very nice indeed. Mondelez International, it says. I like the, I'll say the sort of the gold, shiny wrapper as well. It's more emphasis on the back as well. Very nice. So I guess the equivalent is probably the Whisper Gold in the UK, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So it says 100% Alpine milk chocolate. So I think it's 100% Alpine milk chocolate. It's not 100% Alpine milk chocolate. So you have to bear that in mind, because it does say it on the white chocolate ones as well. Case in point. Here. Yeah, so this, you know, so yeah. Okay, so anything else on here worth noting? We've got the calories. So it's a massive bar. Well, it's 250 grams. It's probably not as heavy as you'd think because it's so big, but it's obviously there's lots of bubbles in it. Yeah, so 250 gram bar. Got per 25 grams, one portion. So what's that? A tenth of the bar. That. So it's probably one. Yeah, I believe it's a 10 by 4 bar. I think so. It's one row of the chocolate. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it is. Yeah, so per 25 grams, one portion, 126 calories, 6.6 grams of fat, 3.8 of which are saturates. But per 100 grams, it's 505 calories, 26.5 grams of fat, 15.5 of which are saturates. So there we go. Yeah, I don't think it specifically tells you what a portion. Sometimes they tell you what a portion is, but I can't see it on this one. It might say in the small print somewhere, but you know. Yeah, I think we worked out probably what it is. Okay, yeah, so as I say, it looks very nice. It's got the old sort of open split thing there that you can see. And I like the way it's got on all the sides as well. Like some Milka Luflée on the side. Even on this side as well, actually, even on the flourish side, which is pretty good. Yeah. I think that's quite nice. Quite good attention to detail there. Could have, especially on here, they could have easily just not bothered on this side, but they have to. So I think that's quite nice. Yeah, lovely packaging. It's a bit more muted. As I say, it's a bit more shiny than the regular Milka ones we get in the UK. This one you can see here, it's like a matte. It's a bit more glossy, you know. So I don't know if you can see. I don't know if the light's catching them well enough for you to see that. It doesn't look like it is in my. I've got big lights on in the background, but obviously they're the ones that are not meant to catch. So yeah, so I've got this little torch here. Does this do? I don't know. Not sure. Well, I think you get the point. Okay, right. So yeah, as I said, there's massive flourishes. I mean, you know, but the bar itself is pretty big. I mean, this is my 30cm ruler. It's just about big enough actually. Yes, it's about yeah. So I'll probably open it in a second, but it's over 28cm, but the flourishes on the side. But because it's such a big bar, I don't think it'll be you know, yeah, the flourishes won't account for that much of a proportion of the bar. But of course, the flourishes, yeah, interesting to know. This one's a lot smaller a bar, but the flourishes are probably about the same size. You know, this is a 100g bar, a 95g bar, half the size. Well, over, under, but you know, it's, I don't know. This is what's this, 250% bigger or something? Yeah, something like that. And then, but they've still got the same size flourishes, pretty much. So I think that's just goes to show, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Maybe you can see. Okay, well, I think we should get into it and give it an open. I'm excited for this one, so let's do it. Let's give it an open. Okay, well, yeah, so I'm going to give this Milka Caramel Luflée bar an open, so very excited for this one, looks very nice. But as I've just mentioned just before, I think I transitioned over to this viewpoint. It's about 29cm actually. If you flatten it out, it goes to about 29cm, so I think we'll say that. That's the width of the bar with the flourishes. Let's give it an open. Excited about this one. It's all made in one piece, which is good. Yes, so let's just give it a quick measure. Now, it does look looks very moussey actually from the back, you know, like a chocolate mousse. Now it's not straight at the sides. Oh, wow, I've just got a lovely waft of smell there. So it's 26cm, so lost 3cm. You know, so it's not too bad. It's almost, is that like a tenth? It's roughly a tenth, isn't it? So that's not too bad actually, is it? Yeah, it's just under a tenth, I think. Okay, so yeah, so it was 30cm long, it would have been a tenth. Wow, so look at this. So it's very beautiful, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know if I can even fit it in the whole camera. Yeah, it looks very pretty, that, doesn't it? Very bubbly. I know you see some bars that sort of have bubble looks to them, but this one definitely wins, I think. You can see on the bottom though, it has like a very puffy look to it, doesn't it? It looks very moussey, as if it's like a dried chocolate mousse, you know. But yeah, so obviously it's not uniform particularly. There is obviously a sort of repeating pattern to it, but not quite. So yeah, and it's obviously not quite straight at the sides either, but it's I think that's a really nice appearance. Yeah. I'd love it one day when it's impractical really, because it would cause damage and it wouldn't sit straight and no point to it really. But it'd be nice if they ever had a 3D one where it wasn't flat at the bottom, you know, so it would be whole spheres. But obviously when you lay it down somewhere it won't sit straight and all sorts. So I can understand why they don't do that, but it would be nice to have that one day somehow. So let's see, what's the width? So the width from the well, from the widest point to the widest point is roughly 8.8cm, I'd say, just about. But from the from the sort of, you know, the bits that are in between, the sort of the smaller bits, it's about 7.5. Yes, and then the well, so the height, yes, the height. So the height has the same sort of issue. So it's from the lowest point to highest point, it's about 1.7. From the lowest point to lowest point, it's about 0.9cm. Okay, so not too bad. So it's melting a bit in my hands now, so I've got to be careful. But let's give it a bit of a snap, shall we? So, well, we did say it was a tenth of the bar was the calories, didn't we? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there is a bite. So it's not quite. I don't know what that would be. How could you work that out? That's the one detriment, I think, to this, isn't it? But it wouldn't stop people's enjoyment. But per 25 grams, one portion. It's roughly a tenth of the bar. But I think we could probably say it's roughly one row. 4 bubbles worth, probably. Obviously, there are smaller ones. But I think that's probably what it would be. So let's give it a bit of a snap. Okay. So there was an aero one that they released recently, which was a bubbly scent, but didn't have any physical actual caramel, just caramel flavouring. And I can't see. Oh, there we go. So I snapped it there. Bit of caramel coming out, as you can see. That's probably just in the top of the bubbles. But when I did snap it before, actually there is a bit there. Yeah. I reckon it's all in the bubble, so I think I've left my crusty knife somewhere else, so I'll just go get it. Yeah, okay, so I've just come back. So we got my knife this time, so I'm going to chop into one of the segments just so we can see whether if there's loads of caramel in the bubble itself. I think there's, yeah, you can obviously tell it's been pushed down a bit, but you can see there in that dome, it's full of caramel there. It's obviously the chocolate's pushed down into it a bit, but yeah, So each one of those is full of caramel. It's a nice runny caramel as well, by the looks of it. A semi-runny, yeah, so I've just scooped it out so that you can see there. Yeah, it's a nice runny caramel. Very tasty looking this, isn't it? I have to say, very tasty. You know what that means? I think we should give it a taste, so let's do it. Let's give it a taste. Hello everyone, yeah, so I'm going to give this Milka Luflée with caramel, Milka Caramel Luflée a taste. So, very, Milka Caramel Luflée. I'm going to give it a taste. So yes, I've got a nice bubble and a half here. I mean, you can see the caramel's just bulging. Well, you can see the caramel's just bulging out there, can't you? Yeah, let's give it a taste then. Let's do it. Let's give it a taste. Not too bad. It's not too bad at all. It's I would say, the caramel's very nice to start with. It's a nice once it's overly sweet, it's you must describe it as a gentle caramel, I think. It's not sort of overly anything really. It's just a nice sort of sweet, sort of liquidy filling really. It's quite, as I say, quite runny. It works well. I mean, the chocolate though is a bit, I'm not sure. It's not overly, I don't know, it's, I feel like it's definitely aerated, of course. So it's kind of quite, soft. You can see it there, I mean, you can see that big segment there. See a big load of caramel on the other side. Yeah, so it's a bit, let's see. I think the chocolate's not a strong tasting chocolate. I think maybe Alpine Milk's a bit overpowered perhaps by the caramel, even though the caramel's quite subtle. I get a bit of a It's one of those where sometimes you might say, oh yes, it's because it's working quite well. You can't taste them specifically, but I think in this one, I don't know. Let's have a look as well. You can see here. So I've got just took off the. You see this sort of shell there, the top, all that caramel. So there's definitely a lot there. You do get a lot of caramel in it, I have to say, because all those sort of domes are all filled with caramel. I do think the caramel's perhaps, it's an okay caramel. It's not a bad one. It's not a perfect one either. It's just a sort of, it's just a nice placeholder, a nice caramel to have. It's nice and runny, but there's no real strong caramelly taste. It's not like a buttery taste like Cadbury's caramel or anything. It's not, it's just a sort of, it's just a runny, sweet caramel. It's not overly sweet either, so you don't taste loads of it. But as for the actual chocolate, I'm not sure. Again, I think it's just nice, if you know what I mean. It's, I don't think it's going to really blow your socks off at all. I think it's one of those. It's just a bit underwhelming. Yeah. It's hard to sort of pick out any specific thing about it. It's just not really. I think the caramel really overshadows the chocolate. Really, unfortunately, I think there's no real strong. You just don't really get any strong chocolate taste, and you don't really get the sense of the aeration either. Do a bit, but not loads. I mean, it is obviously aerated. It's quite soft, and it's velvety to an extent, but it's just I just think it's the Alpine milk chocolate here. I mean, it's just a bit too weak a taste. Like you've got, say, Cadbury's Whisper, which I don't know if it is dairy milk or not, but it has a really strong chocolate taste. It's really there, if you know what I mean, and it's something so special about that chocolate. Whereas this one, I'm not sure it really has that special special, X factor there. It's just sort of quite mundane. The chocolate and the caramel are quite mundane. The caramel's quite strong actually, and after a while it really does sort of start to. I did say before it's quite a sort of subtle caramel, but after a few segments, it really sort of lingers in your mouth, and it's it's quite strong for that reason. It's I think you just get that taste lingering in your mouth, and it just continues and continues to sort of block the Alpine milk chocolate coming through really. Over time, if you know what I mean, and but when you eat it, it is quite subtle. It's not a strong caramel as such. It's just yeah. So I don't know what to say about this one. I feel like it's a bit. I think the long and short of it is, it's a perfectly acceptable bubbly milk chocolate with caramel, but I just feel like there's probably better ones out there really. But I think if you had like a little tub of the, when you have, I don't know, a chocolate selection, and you think, oh well, I'll have you've got the ones you want, but then sometimes you think, well, I just fancy a caramel one, and you take one. That's this really, you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. You might think, well, there's other things I'd rather have, but every now and again you think, well, I actually just fancy the caramel one, or the aerated caramel one in this case. And I think that's where this would fall into. It's serviceable for what it does, but it's not going to knock your socks off really. Nevertheless, I think it is slightly above average, so I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I do really like it. I think the combinations of the caramel and the bubbly, the aerated chocolate are nice and do work well together. And I think it is a pleasant bar to eat. It's just not, it's not going to really linger with you. You're not going to sort of want to keep coming back for more, I don't think. But as I say, every now and again, you will have the craving for it, and it will be there for you. But I just think the Alpine milk chocolate just isn't strong enough against the caramel. But maybe there's too much caramel, I don't know, because there's quite a lot in here. But it doesn't have a strong taste to it either, that's the thing, but nonetheless there is something there. So I don't really know what the problem is with it. I think it's just maybe the ratios aren't quite right. Maybe it's neither one thing or another, but I don't think that's true. I think it is quite distinctly caramel there. There's lots of caramel. The aerated chocolate is there. I just think the tastes, I mean, it's more about the textures this bar rather than the taste. I think the tastes aren't quite as strong as the textures that you receive, and I think the caramel, let's say, there's maybe too much of it to that overshadows the aerated chocolate maybe. So yeah, but could be a plus point for some. But for me, I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5. Okay, guys, let me know what you think. If you've liked this, or if you've had this one, and what you prefer. If you prefer Cadbury's Whisper Gold, or just Cadbury's Whisper, or even just a regular Milka Bubbly or Milka Luflée, let me know what you think. Leave a comment on free, subscribe, like my videos, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, YouTube member program, things like this. But yeah, leave a comment as I say if you can. It's always great to hear from you, it really is. So yeah, and I'll see you in the next review. Take care, bye for now. Got chocolate on my fingers. Bye.